At the end of each day this series, a couple of us Wisden podcast regulars will be digesting all the action in what we hope to be a series of 5 to 7 minute videos here on our YouTube channel. If you've got any questions for the show, let us know in the comments. There's plenty of doom and gloom in today's questions, but in a way that's endearingly reassuring. India are well on top after the first day at Trent Bridge. India bowled England out for just 183 and they finished the day on 21 without loss. Taha, before we get into England's batting woes, India were seriously impressive with the ball.
So good. I mean, just watching late in that innings, just the way. But I mean, it was we're into the tail. But Bumrah just hooping it away from Sam Curran, the left-hander, and then always nipping that one back in. It's just so beautiful to watch. I mean, we're going to talk about not picking a spinner, but when you see movement off the pitch like that, it's like you've got someone bowling spin at 90 miles an hour. It was lovely to watch. I mean, Shami's seam position, just always a delight to watch. Siraj was excellent. Shardul Thakur was surprised me. I really wasn't expecting such a disciplined performance from him. Admittedly, we've not seen that much of him at Test level, but he really came to the fore. I mean, that Indian attack is just exceptional, and I think it's gone sort of under the radar. It's so easy to focus on England's batting woes because that's just a narrative that's been building for such a long time. But India's bowling, I mean, that was beautiful to watch.
And in quite helpful conditions as well. Obviously, there's skill involved, but the ball swung all innings. And it was conventional swing, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I think conditions were quite hard. We had one question from Ben Gardner, who we know well, who asked, what do you think a par score was? And I genuinely don't think it's that much more than 250, 300. And we've seen in test matches in England over the last few years that 250 to 300 is quite often a match winning score.
Yeah. When I saw Curran come out to bat and he was with Root, we were thinking, 250, 300, somewhere between that's looking good because it's kind of, when you see Curran going like that, you're thinking, oh, this is a bit like 2018 where those kind of scores will do you good. But what happened afterwards, that quite quickly it became, if they get to 180, that's decent.
They'll take that. Yeah. Before we get on to England, Ashwin's non-selection bugs me. He's one of the best bowlers in the world. He can do it overseas. He was one of the best bowlers on their away tour to Australia. And I just kind of think the whole Ashwin-Jadeja debate is a red herring. Jadeja plays every time as a number 7. He's their gun all-rounder. His bowling away from home is a bit of a bonus. Ashwin is one of the best 3 test bowlers in the world. He plays wherever you're playing, I think. But they're in a pretty good position at the moment, so I don't think that'll prove pivotal. A lot of the debate already has focused on the lack of cricket that the English guys have played, the lack of first-class cricket in particular. Curran, Bairstow, Buttler haven't played any first-class cricket since the winter. The out-of-form batsmen have had very few, if any, chances to find form in the championship because of the schedule. How pivotal do you think that was today? Because it's not the first time that England have struggled with the bat in recent times. How pivotal do you think that was?
Okay, with Buttler, we're talking about a guy who's just not played that much cricket this summer because of, he's had, an injury problem or two. And so you could sense that when he was batting. And he's someone who, remember 2018, sometimes it's not about necessarily red ball cricket, it's just about playing cricket. He came into that 2018 summer on the back of that excellent IPL where he got runs. So I think with different players, there's different cases. It's funny, we've talked about how undercooked England are of late and how that may have affected their batting. But look at India, and how Rahul and Rohit Sharma handled the new ball there. Rohit's only proper innings in the last month has been a 33 ball 9 against the county select 11. Rahul since in between his last test in 2019 and this test, he played 2 first-class games. The last one was last month against the county select 11. So everyone's dealing with different calendar issues. India play a lot of white ball cricket. These guys play a lot of white ball cricket. But when you rock up on the day, then you've got to adapt because this is just the way the world works now, doesn't it?
I guess the argument is this doesn't have to be the way the world works. And I think in particular with the England guys who are out of form, Dan Lawrence, Dom Sibley, Roy Burns, to a degree. Burns is interesting, I think, because he was arguing the form of his life earlier this summer. But it's been 2 months since he's played that much red ball cricket. He's had 4 knocks in first class cricket since the New Zealand series. I think 3 failures in a 50. So you can't really say he's got that momentum that he had early in the summer, and I guess that is problematic. And not going into structure too much. The schedule this season isn't because of COVID; it's because of we have this new competition in the middle. But there can be plenty of mini pods where we can discuss that later this summer. We've got a lot of questions today. I'm going to run through them quite quickly. Harry Wilson asks, do you think that every @firstname_Wisden account tweeting Lawrence's record last night put too much pressure on him?
I didn't, so get your facts right.
John Kirby asked, would 90s England beat the current side?
Born in 97, so really don't know, man.
Tom Linney asked, which test in this series will Hashim Hamid return in?
Well, I'm going to Lords, so it'd be kind of nice to see him there. But
yeah, I don't think he's going to play at Lords because Sibley kind of did his job, and that's the thing with Sibley sometimes. 18 is almost what you need, almost, or what you're looking for from an opening batsman in this England side.
I get that, but at some point there needs to be a substantial score there as well.
That's fair enough. You were reasonably optimistic about Crawley and Bairstow today, two guys who are under a bit of pressure going into the Test match. Yeah,
with Crawley, Crawley looked all at sea against New Zealand, and what I was hoping with him, I think he's just such a good player. I think he's got a lot about him, and what I was looking for with him today was just maybe even just a good start to his ODI career, something like that, just to get the feet moving, to get those drives in, and we were starting to see that. He was coming down the crease, and using that big presence that he had. But Siraj did him there, and it was pretty impressive. And Bairstow, I think they point out on the TV, done a bit of tinkering with his technique, and at the end of the day, he is still a player who's done the business at some points in Test cricket. There's still something there. I totally understand the arguments for not playing him. They're very reasonable ones. But he played well until just the Indian attack. You've got to give them credit.
Absolutely. A few more pretty bleak questions from an England point of view. Mike Heslop asked, if England lose 5-0, what happens next? And Jim Amos asked, how many of the next 9 tests will England win? They could still win this one.
It's one day, guys. Just take it a day at a time, guys.
They could still win this one.
Yeah, they could still win this one. Just calm down.
That is all we've got time for on today's show. I think we just stayed within our time limit. We'll be back tomorrow here on the Wisden Cricket YouTube channel. If you've got any questions for tomorrow's show, you can ask them in the comments for this one. Cheers.